Antoine through the end-of-season edition of your NBA Player Pyramid.
Antoine, I know what you woke up this morning thinking. Who are Nick Wright's 47 best players in basketball? Look at you. You came to the right place. Reveal it, please. We'll start at the bottom. Very quickly. Who's down on the bottom? C.J. McCollum. Who's he next to? Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, defensive player there on the bottom tier. Yep, he's lucky he made it at all. Next level. Karl Anthony Towns can't be higher than that? No, he's a good player. His team's always awful. Now we're to the cream of the crop. There's Drew Holiday. There's DeAndre Ayton. Those two guys just played in the finals and had huge roles. You've got Jaylen Brown there. Ben Simmons, who I think right now people are a little too low on. Everyone forgot about Ja Morant. Ja Morant made the playoffs, had a good playoff, had one awesome playoff game, won a game. All right, now let's get to the top 23 players in basketball. This is how deep the talent is. 4 of these guys, not even top 20 guys. What does that bottom row have in common? All spectacular Robins. None of them can be Batman on a championship team. I know Jimmy made the finals as the best player, but come on. Those guys, though, if they're your second best player, you can win the title. 3 of them, Clay, Kyrie, and Chris Middleton, have actually all done that. Now to the next wave stars. Again, these are players 12 through 17. They're all 24 and under. You've got Booker and Mitchell are 24. Trey and Tatum are 22. Zion's just 20. Zion coming off a year that only Kevin McHale had ever done as far as that many points on that high of a field goal percentage. A spectacular year from him. None of those guys are superstars, but at least 2 of them are future superstars. Maybe one day all of them will be superstars. Then you have your actual superstars, starting with Kawhi and AD. Both of them have top 5 ability. Both of them have been fringe top 5 players before. But Kawhi's injury concerns are overwhelming, and AD's injury nagging this, nagging that. Availability matters, got to knock him down. And then you have absolute, unquestioned great players with a little hole. Jokic and Dame, they're bad on defense. Harden, we don't know if he's going to be good in the postseason. And Chris Paul, we kind of do know that by the final game of the season, he's not going to be 100%. That's why they clearly are not above where they are, but deserve to be in the undoubted superstar category. Luka, Steph, Embiid, it's amazing one of these guys isn't a top 5 player. Spectacular, change your franchise type of guys. And then the very top. For the first time in the 13-year history of me making these pyramids, including the first 9 years when I just did them by myself, for myself, and no one got to see them, someone other than LeBron James is at the top of the pyramid. LeBron and KD are going to try to wrestle the crown away from Giannis, Antoine, but right now it is unquestionably his. So there it is, top 47 guys. If you feel like someone got snubbed, just keep in mind if it was top 50, your guy would have made it. There it is. There's your top 47. Your thoughts?
Nick, usually I love your predictions. I love the way you pick players.
Oh, no.
But you got a lot. You got it wrong a lot. This is probably a C- type of. This is a paper. This would be a C-. Well, the first thing, what I do, I got to give a little love. I finally convinced you. I made you a Derrick Rose fan. So I'm glad to see that I've made you a Derrick Rose fan.
Rose made he was the last guy
Derrick
on.
Rose made the list, so I was excited about that to see Derrick. But after that, you made a ton of mistakes. I think one thing you have to that's Chris Middleton has to be moved up. You can't have him in that row. I know you're calling it the Robin row, but Chris Middleton has to be up there, and Kyrie Irving. Both of those guys have to be above Trae Young, Mitchell, or Jason Tatum. They have to be above them. Kyrie Irving, if I'm not mistaken, was a 50, 40, 90 guy. His season was unbelievable. We're trying to take that away from him because he got hurt in the playoffs. But Kyrie Irving, I thought, was spectacular this season. And Chris Middleton has done it on the biggest stage. And also, to add to that, could you please take Klay Thompson out of there and put Russell Westbrook up there? Are you forgetting what Russell Westbrook did this season with his triple-doubles? And what he was able to, and led Washington to the playoffs. So you got to think about those. Russell Westbrook is one of the elite point guards, top 3 point guards in the league. And for some odd reason, you won't give him that credit. And he should be ahead of Klay Thompson on that row. As your Robin row. We call it the Robin row. Now I'm going to move up top. And let's get up top to the big end. Stop putting Chris Paul in this elite category of top 10 players in the league. Can you please stop doing that? Chris Paul is
I can't.
Great 16. No, he's a great 16-year vet. No, he's a great 16-year vet. He does a great job of getting young guys to buy in. He's a leader. He knows how to win, but he's not a top 10 player in the league. That's not where he should be ranked at. So you got to get him out the top 10.
Okay.
And now you're top 3. And this was tough for me because I really studied this. I saw this one, and I really looked at this. Obviously, I'm a huge LeBron fan. I'm not as big a fan as you, Nick. LeBron is number 3 now.
Not a fan, just
it goes Giannis. It goes Giannis, KD, LeBron now. He's dropped to number 3. After these playoffs and what I've seen, Giannis is number 1. Giannis is the best two-way player we got in this league. I think he showed that what he does defensively, guarding the 1 through the 5 is exceptional. And obviously he knows how to play offensively. Well, at least he showed how his deficiencies, his ability not to take bad shots in the finals and really attack the basket. And then that last game making 17 out of 19 free throws. We got to give him a lot of credit. So the top 3 needs to be readjusted. And Nick, get CP3 out your top 10. Stop it, man. He's a top 20 player in the league. He's not a top 10 player.
Antoine, top 3 does not need to be readjusted. We agree Giannis is 1, and the pyramid is agnostic as far as you're not ranked within tiers. So LeBron and KD are the same. They're the same right now on the pyramid. You're doing it like left to right, like you're reading, but we have a massive audience overseas, and they read right to left. So we're just going top down. So don't worry about the LeBron versus Durant. We can argue about that another time. Listen, CP3. You know what we'd be doing today? So you know what we'd be doing instead of my pyramid? We'd be previewing a Game 7 CP3 is about to play in if your Kentucky Wildcat, Devin Booker, hadn't gotten the clamps put on him by Drew Holiday in Game 6. So I'm not going to take CP3 down.
What about the 80 points he scored in Game 4 and 5 while he's waiting on Chris to come with him?
Those were good. Okay. Those were good, and Chris didn't help him out. That's fair. It's all fair. It's fine. I'm not going to argue with the CP3 thing. I'm going to be honest here. I maybe included Derrick Rose just as like an olive branch to you and Kevin Wildes. I'm glad it got me nothing. He just still eviscerated the list. Broussard, your thoughts, because Antoine really just broke my heart. A C-. I've never gotten a C- Broussard on anything in my entire life, and Antoine gave me a C-. I don't even know what to do.
Well, Twan, when we first went over this pyramid an hour ago, Nick was asking me, he thought I'd say bravo. He thought I'd give him an A+ and all that. I am going to say bravo and clap, but it's for Antoine Walker, not Nick Wright. My goodness, Twan broke it down. See, I couldn't get to everything in the first hour, Nick, but he's right. I wanted to get at you about Kyrie Irving. The disrespect look, Trey had a great run. But can we judge him on more than 1 month of basketball? You're already putting him ahead of a sure thing, first ballot Hall of Famer in Kyrie Irving? You got to stop it. And he's right about Chris Paul, as I told you. Bring him down. He shouldn't be any higher than Devin Booker. And if we're going to have Kawhi and AD, well, Kawhi on the list, then let's have Kawhi as he is and not factor in the injury. Then I got to move him up ahead of Dame Lillard. I'm moving Anthony Davis ahead of Dame Lillard, unless you're on the Colin Cowherd team of the Lakers should trade Dame for AD. I don't think you're there. So I got to put AD ahead of Dame as well. And I told you, James Harden, there were times last year, Nick, when he looked like the best player on earth. I mean, that dude is the rare all-time elite scorer combined with all-time elite playmaker. So I hate to move Steph out, but I've got to switch Harden and Steph because as much as I love Steph, best small player ever, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. So come on, I got those are my beefs with you.
And listen, Steph's the best small player ever, and I think James Harden has a good case to be made. He just had the best season ever for a player with a beer belly, so I think there, it's kind of, what do you prefer? What's more impressive? But on the Kyrie thing, I wanna, like, you guys, can we show Kyrie? Because here's the thing, Trae Young did something this year. Kyrie had ample opportunities and never could do. Be the best player on a team and make round 3. Kyrie had chances.